Zoe, Annabelle, Annabelle. Okay, yeah, you guys can see her. And that is Gracie. Holy crud, I'm filming outside today. Also, there's gonna be some spiders on that window. They built their webs there. They are not spider homie. I repeat, they are not spider homie. They are aggressive spiders. They get attracted to all the bugs that go up to that lamp there. They are not spider homie. Also, if you hear other noises, it's because I got my dogs out here with me today. Hold on. So this video is part 2 to the homebrew rules that I use. Basically, if think of this like if you ever were to come to a session 0 of mine, these were the homebrew rules that I would be going over, all that sort of stuff. Number 1, on your turn, most item interactions are bonus actions. I don't like the idea of not being able to cast a spell or swing your weapon just because you want to open up a door or just because you wanted to shove an enemy. I think that that's really stupid, and I think that kind of gets rid of a lot of the tactics in D&D, because here's my biggest thing, my biggest issue with this. D&D in its center, like overall, is a combat focused game. If I can't open a door and hit someone with my sword in the same turn, told you they get loud. But here's my thing, D&D is a combat focused game, and especially if you're playing something like, you know, a ranger, a paladin, fighter, barbarian, monk, those attacks are going to matter. And, you know, D&D is already unfairly balanced towards spellcasters, so I think it's really stupid that you have to give it up if you, like, want to do something with your turn. Limiting what you can do, you know, the thing that your entire class is based off of is you can't cast spells just because you want to open a door or investigate an object, just seems really stupid and really silly to me. If you're playing a Dragonborn, you can use your breath weapon as many times equal to your Constitution modifier per long rest, with a minimum of 1. If you're playing a variant human, instead of taking a feat at level 1, I will allow you to take another race option. So for example, like the Halfling's Luck, the Dragonborn's breath weapon, the Tiefling's fire resistance, anything like that. It's pretty balanced because, you know, other races would get that stuff anyways, and you're also giving up a lot of, you know, other perks of just getting that one benefit without playing the full race. Draconic sorcerers in my campaigns get access and gain proficiency in one martial weapon of their choice. I always felt like Draconic Bloodline sorcerers, at least in 2014th edition, felt like, you know, like the martial sorcerer, kind of like the alternative to the Hexblade Warlock or the Blade Singer Wizard, so you gain access to one martial weapon of your choice. Whenever you pick your Warlock subclass, that changes the damage type of your Eldritch Blast. So something like Pact of the Fiend would, you know, be fire damage, Celestial is radiant damage, Hexblade, you can choose between bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. Great Old One is psychic damage. Fae would, you know, I guess would also be psychic damage. Also, you know, because it's pretty much a necessity to play a Warlock correctly, every Warlock starts off with Eldritch Blast, and it doesn't take up one of your known cantrips. You know, I feel like a lot of DMs do this already because it's just like a need-to-know cantrip if you're going to play a successful Warlock. I know that there are Warlock builds out there that don't use Eldritch Blast, but so many of your Eldritch invocations just upgrade Eldritch Blast, and, you know, I think it's kind of necessary for you to have that spell. I let the spell Speak with Dead work with undead creatures. If you go up to an undead creature and cast Speak with Dead, then instead of just, you know, asking them 3 questions, instead you and that creature speak a mutual language for the next hour. Alright, now here's the real controversial part of this video. I think opportunity attacks are great in the way they work, and I think that they actually make combat make sense. I know recently there's been a push to kind of get rid of opportunity attacks because a lot of people say that they slow down combat and stop movement. Yeah, that's kind of the point. An enemy isn't going to let you run away if you are in active combat and with you, and if they have an upper hand. Now, I still believe that retreating is a great option whenever it comes to your enemies. I just think that whenever you are in open combat, I think it's going to make sense for that big, meaty orc or Goliath, maybe even like a half-giant, something like that, to swing at you with their battle axe. If they see you running across like their terrain, they see you like perfectly, I think that they're going to be able to get a hit in. Now, does it unfairly like do marshals? Does it unfairly target martial characters that don't use any magic? Yeah, but that's kind of their point, to take hits. I think it just makes a better strategy. Now, here's my homebrew part of this. I subtract the damage dice down by 1. So, because it's not a full attack, and since it's only a reaction, if, you know, let's use that orc, for example, earlier, they're going to be using a great axe. Instead of it being a d12, it'd be a d10. Instead of a d10, it'd be a d8, and onward and onward. For barbarians, I always thought that the danger sense ability was really weird. It lets you gain advantage on dexterity saving throws against, like, traps, unseen enemies, and all that kind of stuff. But, you know, it's a danger sense. The text says, open the player's handbook. At second level, you gain an uncanny sense of when things are nearby aren't as they should. It gives you an edge whenever you dodge away from danger. You have advantage on dexterity saving throws against effects that you can see, such as traps and spells. To gain this benefit, you can't be blinded, deafened, or incapacitated. Yeah, for a thing called Danger Sense, I always thought that that was really dumb. I kind of work it like Peter Parker's Spider Sense, you know, in Into the Spider-Verse, where you can kind of sense if there are other, like, combatants near you. Like, obviously you still need to have a line of sight, but I think that that makes more sense. Or they would at least need to be in your passive line of sight. I kind of do a stealth versus passive perception type thing. Also, another thing, I really like using passive perception. I don't know why more DMs don't use it. I give both the Rogue class and the Bard class an extra skill proficiency at level 1 because honestly they don't have enough. Both of these classes are supposed to be the jack of all trades, and if you look at other systems like Pathfinder and even older editions of D&D, they would get like 7, 8 proficiencies at level 1. I think that that's really cool, especially if you're trying to be the jack of all trades, you know, skill monkey of the group, which what these classes are supposed to be. Also, another thing, I think the expertise system kind of makes these classes way too narrow. Yes, I like it. I like how it's like a jack of all trades, but you focus on these one things. But I think it kind of gets rid of the jack of all trades thing, because if you're playing a rogue or a bard, you're going to be pushed towards focusing on perception, stealth, and you know, sleight of hand, when in reality, like, these classes are meant to do whatever you like, honestly. Now, the Bard, at least in 2014, you know, covers this out. Whenever you're picking your proficiencies at level 1, you pick one proficient, you know, you pick 3 proficiencies from any in the game, from any down your skill list. I like that a lot. I also give that to the Rogue because, you know, Rogues are supposed to be skill monkeys, and, you know, just having these specific niche proficiencies doesn't really make any sense. Alright, everyone, thank you for watching. Let me know if you like the new outside, like, camera view. The sun is right above me, and, you know, I am white as a ghost, so I'm going to go inside before I get burnt like a lobster. Alright, thank you. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what your homebrew rules are, all that stuff. Alright, bye.